So let's talk about these knots. I didn't even look to see how much hair that shed. Probably won't be putting my braids in anytime soon. Okay, so this is pretty much the basics of taking out knotless braids, at least for me, which is A, putting on a good TV show. I'm really into 9 Perfect Strangers right now. I don't know who else watches that. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, B, taking your time because the takedown is something you don't want to rush through. And C, a good product to have on your fingers while taking it out. Some people use oil. I like to use this detangling cream from Dark & Lovely's Protective Style line. Yeah, this cream melts away buildup and makes your hair easy to come apart from the braids. Now comment below what y'all use, because I know, do y'all use any oils or creams for taking down your braids? I know some people prefer oil. I like the cream, it just feels a lot better. But anyway, so now that we got the basics out of the way, here's probably the more critical part of a takedown routine, which you'll see in just a second. The wash day is just as important, if not more important, than the actual takedown process. I mean, think about it. Your hair just came out from being braided for a few weeks, you know, detangling and everything, and now you want to give it some extra TLC. Now here are the services I requested at the salon I went to help with the process. I put my hair up in this top bun with like some curly bangs. I hate walking up in there all willy-nilly. I don't know if y'all go to a salon and your hair definitely needs some help. Do you just go in there the way your hair is, or do you try to fix it up before? It's almost like before you hire a cleaning service for your house or whatever, or if you're at a hotel, you kind of clean up before the maids come because you don't, I don't know, you're just kind of embarrassed. Yeah. I kind of fix it up before they have to come fix it up. So I decided to go to Dry Bar. Lisa was out of town that day, and Dry Bar is always the next best thing. Their stylists are trained really well to handle black hair, which you'll see in just a second. Take it away, feeling too good. So the first addition to my service is the On The Rocks Charcoal Scrub Shampoo. It clears away buildup, and since I tend to use more product in my hair when it's in braids, I highly recommend any kind of clarifying shampoo after having braids. It just gives your scalp a nice breather. But you won't let me, something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself. Next, she went straight in with another service that I added, which was the Mudslide Nourishing Hair Mask. It was much needed. If you see, she's applying it mainly to my ends to really nourish the older parts of my hair. By the way, she also started detangling session number 1 while the mask was on my hair. You can see the rest of the hair that shed was laid to rest in the sink. I never like to look at it after I'm done. But anyway, after rinsing it out, y'all, here's where things took a turn. If you can see, she's detangling mainly in the area of my new growth because I had knots all up in there. I'll tell you about how I ended up getting them out later, or how she ended up getting them out later, and how it even happened in the first place, which will be later in this video. But just know, she worked it out. She really did. And as you can see, the blow dry and the flat iron was a breeze. Boy, you're my weakness. Giving we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, so let's talk about these knots. Okay, so I think I can pinpoint where I went wrong and how I got them. Listen, it comes with the territory. With knotless braids, you know, there's some things, knotless braids, they're a great protective style. It works for some people, it doesn't work for others. But for me, it works, but there are some pros and cons that come with it. But for me, the pros outweigh the cons. And clearly the cons I can prevent from next time. And the cons I'm talking about are these little knots. But like, it made me think about how you guys were talking about, especially those who watch our channel and you guys are natural. Everyone always talks about those little fairy knots that are prevalent in their hair routine. So here I am with relaxed hair. I honestly didn't think that I would be dealing with fairy knots. Anyway, so how I got the knots, I'm thinking it's probably when I initially put my knotless braids in. I did my wash day and then I put the braids in. And what I didn't do, which I should have done, was I just let my roots air dry. And what I should have done was I should have just gone in with like a straightener or something, not a flat iron, but like the like one of the straightening brushes that we have. I should have gone into my roots and just kind of gone over them a little bit longer, spent more time up there. I use my Rev Air to blow dry my hair as a whole, but as far as my roots is a more targeted approach, I should have used the straightening brush, just kind of lay them down a little bit, making sure they're a little bit straight. Because when I put the braids in on the already coarse hair, because you know I had new growth already, I'm due for a relaxer soon, so the new growth was already popping. I knew it wasn't gonna be a good time with the tingling. I just didn't know the knots were gonna come, but basically next time I know when I do put my knotless braids in, I'm just gonna go ahead and focus on my roots. Whenever I do put them back in, like I usually do it when I'm in the middle of a stretch, but because I'm getting my relaxer soon, I probably won't be putting my braids in anytime soon until like the next stretch and stuff. So I know what not to do and what to do next time to prevent that from happening. I didn't even look at the sink. I didn't even look to see how much hair that shed. I don't like to show it on camera. I think I've done it before, but I was thinking I'm not even gonna show it because some people start comparing like how much hair they have shed when they wear braids and stuff. Everyone's hair is different, but what's true, what rings true and what's universal and what's across the board is that your hair is gonna shed when you have braids and you take it out. But how much hair is gonna come out, you can't really guess and compare. I didn't want to show it and I also didn't want to look. But I mean, your hair is gonna shed, that's what it's supposed to do, it's gonna come back. One thing I will say is besides the wash day that is super important, also building up your hair after that wash day is critical as well. So what I'm gonna do is get a trim, because even though I talk about new growth a lot with these knotless braids, but your ends are also suffering when you're taking your braids out with the manipulation and everything. So I'm definitely going to get a trim. I recommend getting a trim, especially if you haven't had one in a while or you didn't have one going into putting the knotless braids in. So I think a good time for me is to get it now after taking my braids out. And also building your hair up with collagen. Collagen is amazing, especially if you're in the age range late 20s and up. Collagen works really well with, you know, getting your skin firm and, you know, getting that youthful appearance, but also for your hair, giving it a fuller appearance, building up the collagen that's already in your hair. And you guys have already commented how full our hair looks since we started taking collagen. So I haven't really been good with that. So I'm gonna up my routine with collagen. Here's what happens. So I run out of collagen and then I just forget or procrastinate on buying it. So they have an option where you can make recurring payments, but I don't like doing that and stuff. So I just go ahead and buy it whenever I run out. It'll probably come in this week and stuff. So definitely look up collagen and see if it's something that you want to do and insert into your hair routine. We've been doing that for a few years now and it has not done us wrong. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a full little turnaround twisty of my hair and the results and everything. And I'll see you guys, along with Erica, we'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!